I remember like my childhood, and my sister actually introduced me. She showed me like tapes of Offspring, and I was super into them at that time. I was still like, I don't know, 6, I think. I started listening like that type of music, and Nirvana, of course, and stuff like that. Like watching YouTube videos from live shows and performances, the bands. And then how somehow, I don't know, we discovered Arctic Monkeys, and they were our idols for a long time, actually. So that's how we started forming a band, because we wanted to just try to create stuff, try to play something, though nobody knew how to, but still that pure urge, like to play something somehow. It doesn't matter, just let's try to do that. And one of our friends, like from childhood, he bought a bass, and our still drummer Žygimantas bought a crappy cheap drum kit, which I think he overpaid a lot, because like with a lot of issues they had. And yeah, I bought a guitar, and now our bassist, who was a guitar player at that time, had an acoustic guitar, and I don't know, tried to do covers of Arctic Monkeys, So yeah, that's how we formed our first lineup at that time. Yeah, it was strange actually when you think about it, but it was fun times. Yeah, at the start of at the first lineup that we had, it was me. I was a neighbor of our drummer, and he had a cousin who played the guitar at that time. And when we finished school and went to live in Vilnius to study, me and drummer still wanted to play, and create stuff. So we just started playing, the two of us. Then somehow his brother, now who plays synthesizers, came like along, and now our bassist, who still play bass with us, he came to live in Vilnius. And so yeah, that's local blood in the nutshell, because they are two brothers. I'm a neighbor and he's a cousin, so we're still, I don't know, the same childhood local friends from Plungė, who plays in Vilnius, and create weird music. Like Kestas, our synthesizer player, I think he's the most charismatic of us, I think, at least. He's like full-time, how is it called, operator. Yeah, he films stuff, and he goes to a lot of events and stuff like that, so knows a lot of people, and when we go to play concerts, he has a lot of like a little fan base, only for himself. Like that's kind of funny and cute in a way. Žygimantas, our drummer, I think he's shy in a good way. He closes a lot to himself from the environment, but when you get to know him, he's the best person ever. So yeah, Laurynas, for example, bass player, I think he's a great parent. He has like 2 kids, and he's also caring. I mean, he comes from Klaipėda, which is like 300 kilometers away from Vilnius, where we rehearse and do stuff. He comes quite often for a weekend and leaves family and stuff like that, just to rehearse and create something, which doesn't bring any like financial, stability or anything, but he still does that for us, I mean, for the band. And he still manages like to take care, like for two children and a wife, and for family, like, so yeah. We were playing for a long time actually, and we created stuff that, I don't know, sounds funny, like in perspective, but it was like without a purpose, and then we released our first EP, Allure of Sights. Then we started to like have a direction, as a band. We started playing post-punk, and then we got like recognized, and after the EP, we had a long break. We're a band, but we weren't rehearsing, and when we were together, like tried to play something, it didn't go anywhere, I mean. And that's why it took that long for us to realize, what we want to do actually, what's the purpose of our music, And yeah, we had a lot of realization, like in that 5-year gap between like a first EP and Dystopian Disco. And yeah, I was just writing songs on my own at that time, because I still wanted to be a band, and we still had like a goal that we never achieved, like to release a full-length album, I don't know, one thing led like to another, one demo led to another, and I started sharing like my demos with the band, and I don't know, we were hooked at that time. And yeah, we started playing together again. And yeah, we finished like Dystopian Disco, and it was more mature. I mean, we found like a way to create music. If something sounds strange, previously it would be canceled on the spot, And now it was like, okay, it sounds fun. Let's see where it leads, And that's why it's like more mature, because now we are creating everything together, And yeah, all the stuff that we create has a purpose, has a meaning behind it. And a lot of bands like talk, well, we have like 100 demos for an album, It was like, how, how is that even possible? Like 100 songs, it's like 10 albums, And now it's like, okay, we have the first version, let's look, somewhere else, look where it leads, maybe we should change something, and maybe it will sound even better. And you always can, go back to the first version, and finish that. So we started exploring a lot. An idea of Loverman is, it is inspired by the music and social lifestyle of the 90s and the events of that time in Lithuania, when our state was being formed, and the people activities of that time often intertwined with petty crime, with the mafia and stuff like that. And yeah, that was the general concept of that. And when we started writing it, like we thought of that protagonist of that album would be like in the middle of those things, He would start like as an innocent person who's just living, and just wants to get by, And he starts like doing illegal stuff bit by bit. For example, Loverman talks a lot about moral limits of the person, which can be crossed in the name of his own well-being, for example. And it raises questions like, can those reasons of crossing those boundaries, can they be justified, And what is forgivable and what is not? And where is that limit? The major goal, I think, for next year is to go abroad somehow, somewhere, So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're dealing with that. Like, we're working on it, but we'll see how it will go. No promises, at least for now, but that's our goals, I think. So, yeah, at the moment, just concentrate on our album, because it was like the biggest project of our lives, I think. The most ambitious, and it sounds like, yeah, super nice. I don't know. We're very proud of it.